Where's my pig? I'm looking for a truffle pig. How's it going, guys? My name is Pascal and welcome to my channel where we talk about movies and TV shows or pretty much anything with a scene in it. And as we all know, movies are just scenes meshed together. Many people, upon seeing the trailer for this movie as well as the synopsis, immediately jumped and likened it to John Wick. Just instead of it being a dog, this time it's a pig, and instead of Keanu Reeves, it's Nicolas Cage. But I'm here to tell you that that's absolutely not the case. While John Wick was a tale of revenge, which included a lot of violence, Pig decides to be a bit more reserved, and it's actually more of a tale of grief and coming to terms with that grief. So the brief one-liner of Pig would be, Robin Felt, played by Nicolas Cage, is living up as a recluse in the Oregon woods with his beloved truffle pig. However, one day, his beloved truffle pig gets taken away by a couple of tweakers or meth heads, whatever you want to call them, and then he sets on this sort of path towards finding his pig again. Simple enough, right? Let's talk a bit deeper into it. So Pig was co-written by Michael Sarnovski and Vanessa Block, and Sarnovski also directs the movie in what's his directorial debut. And I thought he does an amazing job, man. He really sets the tone for this world that we're in, both in the first 15 minutes when we are in the woods. Some beautiful shots there to really get you invested into the movie early off the bat. There was this nice kind of tracking shot through the woods with Cage and his little pig, and it's just kind of following him around knee height, and you can see the mist kind of swirling around both Cage and the pig, and it's just really nice to see. So later on in the film, there's a tonal shift when we leave the woods and go into the city of Portland. The way that Portland is shot, it gives off this very kind of Sin City vibe, like they're about to enter into something that's a bit more insidious. And just the way it's shot, it looks like they're heading towards impending danger in search of this pig. So not only did Sarnovski kind of have a very vivid idea of how he wanted the film to look, but I'm sure some of his direction rubbed off on the actors, because some of the actors here give really exceptional performances, with Cage in particular, who we'll get to in a bit. I thought Alex Wolff is once again excellent in his role, this time as Amir, a young business upstart who is living in the shadow of his father, and he's very materialistic at the start. He pretty much drives the fancy car, wears the fancy clothes, listens to classical music because he thinks he's better than everyone, but a lot of it is down to his own insecurity and trying to kind of embody his father, who he idolizes and loathes at the same time. David Nell, who plays Chef Derek, has an absolutely stellar performance in the movie. He's only in it for about 5 minutes or so, but his interaction with Cage kind of seals the deal in terms of one of the most iconic scenes in the movie, and I'm sure you can find it on YouTube right now. We can't talk about the acting in Pig without talking about Nicolas Cage, because this guy's had a lot of ups and downs in his life. He's been in a lot of really bizarre movies, and Pig is a bizarre movie to an extent, but it's one that 100% suits Cage, and you can tell that he was really given license to play the character how he saw it, and it really pays off. And I think come award season is going to be in line for many Best Actor awards. And the best part about it all is that Cage doesn't even really have to say a lot in the movie, because he doesn't have a lot of lines. His character is one that's very stoic, a man of few words, as they say. Most of his storytelling is done through facial expressions and his body language, and it really shows. So for those of you who haven't watched the film, you should still have been able to follow us up right till this point, but this is where I kind of diverge a little bit and get into more spoilery stuff. I'm not going to ruin the ending for you guys, but there's a particular scene that I wish to talk about, and I kind of didn't get it at first, but it's only after kind of letting it process for a while where I managed to give my own spin on it. So the scene I'm talking about is the one with the underground fight club. Can I say that word? Whatever, different movie. So my take on the whole fight club scene was that Nicolas Cage, or Robin Felt in the movie, was this returning legend of sorts, like a gladiator. I think that Cage was not only the premier chef in Portland, as many of the characters in the film describe him as, but I think he was also kind of like an underground legend in the realm of like this fight club, because it's shown that he can take an ungodly amount of punishment, and the people kind of bidding to wail on him, right? The numbers keep going higher and higher to the point where people in the audience are gasping, because he's just in such high demand, because everyone knows that he's this legend. Why I think he's this legend is because he was so depressed to the point where he just needed to feel something, and his brain kind of processed that and translated it to wanting to feel pain. But I think somewhere along the lines he just felt like it wasn't doing anything for him anymore, so that's when he decided to officially call it quits and run off into the woods. And that brings me to my next point. I know the term subverting expectations gets a really bad rep nowadays in both film and TV, but I think what was done in Pig, they managed to pull off subverting expectations well, because I don't think anyone really saw that coming, and even when it doesn't happen, you're okay with it, because what we get in the end is, I feel, a lot more thought-provoking and shines a lot more light on the characters than what a normal revenge plot would probably do. So before we wrap things up, this film touches a lot on grief and overcoming it. Another thing that it really focuses on is material wealth, or how this idea that nothing really matters apart from your relationships with your loved ones, and cherishing your loved ones while you still have them. Cage's character makes it a point to constantly ask people why they do something, or why does something matter to them. He tries to reiterate that you don't really know what you have until you lose the most important thing, and then when you do so, everything else just doesn't matter. It all falls away. So that was my review of the movie Pig. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.